Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of Wonder, Wonder, Repeat, where I have Keri Porter. She's actually with Discover 4x4 Adventures, and I just can't wait to introduce you to her and also to meet some of the other amazing things that she's done. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know we have a time zone difference, so I know you were rushing to get here because you're like, wait, I thought I would have another hour.
I was, and I literally just pulled in the driveway. I've been gone all day. We had an appointment to get the Jeep wrapped, and it took way longer than we thought. And I got stuck in rush hour traffic and whatever. I'm here.
Well, just take a breath. Take a breath. So, what are you doing? You're getting it wrapped. What are you? Are you putting the Discover 4x4 Adventures on there?
Yeah, so we have the graphics. We have full doors normally on our Jeep, and we have the side graphics on there, but we replaced the hood and put the core doors on, and so we wanted to get the core doors wrapped and the hood wrapped.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we were kind of finishing it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, how long will that take until you get it back?
I have it back today. I went up
yeah.
at 8 o'clock this morning, and they finished it today for me. So,
that's awesome. So it's done.
Yeah, it's done. I'm home. It's done.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'll have to see pictures of your Jeep. Now, is it the red one?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That one. although from the front now it's gonna look black because we wrapped the grill and the hood flat black.
Okay. So let's talk about this picture for a second.
Okay.
What happened here?
So this is a flap. This was a gentle flap.
A gentle. I like how you say gentle.
Yeah, so you can't really see this. So this is a really big washout, and it was muddy. And I was like third or fourth in line going up this, and it was just getting muddier and muddier as people went up it. Anyway, and it's a pretty steep incline. I don't know. It was probably like 30 degrees. I don't know. It was really steep anyway. So after watching my first couple of buddies run at it, like they were, heavy in the throttle, beating the crap out of their vehicles, and I'm like, I'm gonna try the slow approach and see how that goes. So I got pretty far until it just slid in. So I just actually twice there at the same time. I laid it on its side twice, but
you came real close to it looks like hitting that root there on the right hand side by the top.
Yeah, I did. But I didn't.
That would have been bad.
Yeah. Maybe. It was real gentle. So that picture looks a lot worse than it was.
Yeah. Any flops look worse than they are. Did you have damage on the underside that had landed?
What's that?
Did you have damage?
No, not at all.
Oh, good.
No. I didn't even damage my mirror or anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It just folded in, and it like just laid over and took a nap for a second.
It's like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap right here.
Right. So, awesome. We ended up winching up that because I didn't want to run at it like everybody else.
Yeah, it looks like you had some kind of cable on the back maybe, and then on the front too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm seeing that wrong. Maybe, nope, that's your antenna that I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah, that's the antenna.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Keri, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So.
Yeah, who are you? Give us an introduction.
So I'm Keri Porter, co-owner of Discover 4x4 Adventures. I'm out of Michigan. I've been wheeling for almost 20 years, close to I'll say it's 17 years. Anyway, that's and I don't know. We just love wheeling, and we love the atmosphere, and we love camping and whatever. So, that's what we do.
That's awesome. So what is Discover 4x4 Adventures? Let's talk about that first.
Okay, so Discover 4x4 Adventures is Michigan-based weekend adventures. We do have a couple adventures that we do out of state. They tend to be the women's trips that I plan or whatever, but it's just a long weekend adventure, trail riding, camping, or we have a couple of trips that accommodate people who don't like camping.
Gotcha.
And then we also teach basic off-roading classes and recovery classes, and then an advanced recovery and off-roading class as well.
That's awesome. So what's the difference in the classes? Because I know that you pulled that up and you said it was 101. I looked on your website. It said 101 off-road training. So what would you consider that to be for like new beginners?
Yeah, for people who aren't really familiar with their vehicle, aren't really familiar with how to drive on the terrain with the different components of their vehicle, who want to know, how to air down, why to air down, what to air down to, basic recovery, how to safely recover your vehicle, how to safely recover other people's vehicles, spotting, very basic spotting techniques.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what is the advanced off-road training?
So advanced off-road training, we get into a little bit more advanced driving techniques, advanced recovery techniques, winching and different winching techniques, and then trail repair. So we show you many ways to repair your tire and to change a tire and that sort of thing.
Okay. And the navigational training, is that more like how to use electronics like Gaia GPS, Onyx Off-Road, or is it paper maps?
That's map and compass. So we
wow.
touch on digital GPS a little bit, but the navigational training is map and compass.
I would probably need to take that class. That terrifies me.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fun. I could see it being a little overwhelming at first, but it's really fun once you get used to learning how to use the tools.
Do you prefer using the map and compass over the digital?
I like to have both handy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Gaia or Onyx?
I use Onyx.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty neat. I really like the simplicity of it for me.
Yeah. I've never used Gaia. I've seen Gaia. I just think it's a little bit more complex for what I like. I like that I can turn Onyx on. It shows me exactly what I need to know right when I look at it. And I'm not dealing with layers and downloading things and whatever. Yeah.
That is definitely, I think they both have their perks, I guess you could say, because some of the layers on Gaia are really cool and useful if you want to use that. But you don't have to deal with that on Onyx. So if you want to just kind of hit the ground running, you have that too.
Yeah.
Arla says, "Hey girl, hey." And she also wants to know, how long have you been off-roading?
Go.
Been off-roading for about 17 years.
Tell him hi in the background.
Yeah. Thank you. My son's dog is a puppy, and he's a very large puppy, and he's been instructed to keep him out of the room.
What kind of puppy?
He is a pit bull mix.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nathan says, "Hey, we have a puppy too, so I totally understand that. He's in his crate, so totally get it. Totally." All right, so paper maps and a compass.
Yep.
That's one of the things that you have to know whenever you do the Rebelle Rally.
Yes, that is correct.
So let's talk about the Rebelle Rally for you. I know you've completed that. How many times have you done that?
I've done it about 3 times.
3 times. Okay, so tell us about the first experience. What was your thoughts going into that? Because I know that's just I know quite a few people this year that's going in to do it.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect going into it the first year. Hey, that's from the first year right there.
I figured with that huge paper map, I was like, that's got to be the Rebelle.
Yep, that's totally the Rebelle. So the first year going into it, I just didn't know what to expect. And like when we first started training, we really focused on the plotting and the compass work, but we didn't think to focus on the route planning work. So when we first took off the line there, we maybe panicked for like 10 minutes, drove back and forth up and down the same road, like trying to figure out what we were going to do. And then we stopped and took a deep breath and we're like, look, we're not lost. Let's figure this out. So then we figured from there, okay, so what's our first step? What's our next step? So when we did the Rebelle school, at the time, they didn't focus a lot on the route planning, but now they really do. And I really think that that's a great idea because, like I said, that just wasn't anything that we even considered,
Yeah.
So
you just want to know how to use your tools, but then how to apply them is a different thing.
Yeah. Yes. We learned how to use our tools, but putting them in a practical use was a little bit different.
Yeah. So who was your partner then the first time? Was it someone that you knew or?
No, actually, my partner the first year was Laura Wanlas. We met probably, so I met her in August or July. So it was the July, so it's about 6 months prior or whatever.
Okay.
We had both had partners that had to step down. So we met and we kind of clicked and made a team.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Laura's done amazing work with her map and compass skills since that first year. I think she was determined to not be lost in the woods or in the mountains ever again. So she actually took 3rd place last year.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was excited. It was really fun to watch her, and it's been really fun to watch her grow. She's very much a leading person in the Rebelle community.
That's way cool. And just to think that you got to experience that first one with her.
Right.
That's a cool story. Will you be doing it a 4th time, you think?
I would. I'm not doing it this year. I had plans of possibly doing it this year, but that kind of fell through, and it's just too late to get something together. This year we're really trying to focus on growing our business. So not doing a Rebelle is kind of maybe a blessing in disguise because that's giving me more of an opportunity to focus on that.
Gotcha. So what about your second year? Tell us about that one.
So my second year, I was asked in, I think, September. It was right before the Rebelle to do it with a lady who was from Japan. She didn't speak English, or she spoke very little English. We were going to do it, and then we weren't going to do it, and we were going to do it, and then we weren't going to do it. I actually went to work Monday morning, the day before I was supposed to fly out, because I didn't think we were going to do it anymore. And then I got a text shortly after being at work saying, "Hey, I'm on a plane. I hope you can meet me." And so I went home from work that day and packed everything and then took off.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so how was that? Just tell us about your experience, because with someone that speaks very little English, that you haven't had a relationship with. And I know whenever you were at the ladies' round table at the Moore, you said that was the loneliest time that you felt out there. I can't imagine, because you're having to overcome everything else on top of the language.
Yeah, it was a lonely week. Not because we didn't get along. It's not that we didn't get along, but we just didn't have a connection, and we couldn't really communicate. So, any emotions, whether it was, ecstatic or super frustration or whatever, was just kind of experienced on your own. So then you're out there for 12 hours a day, 8 days. And we were always one of the last teams into the camp. So I didn't get to eat dinner with any of my friends. We were always the last to everything, because it just took us, extra time to communicate.
Yeah.
So
do you think there's something that you could have done differently, or would you choose to do differently through that?
I don't know. Would you have
not done it?
No, I totally would have done it. I never say no to opportunity if I don't, if it's possible for me to do, I don't say no. So anything I would have done differently? I don't think so, because I tried really hard all week. At the end of the rally, I felt like I gave it my 100% best. So I would like to have more experience navigating out west. The only time I really get to go out west is when I do the Rebelle, and the landscape is completely different. So the only time I see Glamis sand dunes is during the Rebelle. The only time I see the Sierra Nevadas is during the Rebelle. So the beginning of the week is always hard for me, transition wise. transitioning my information on the map to the landscape, because I can't look at a mountain and that's 5 miles in the distance and know that that's 5 miles in the distance. That's not something that my mind comprehends, because it's not something I see on the regular,
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool. I totally understand that, because I think you have an advantage if you've driven out west, like more, just kind of casually, even just because that gives you kind of a lay of the land, and you get the opportunity to take your time to learn it,
Yes.
rather than being like,
yeah. And I learn by doing something. I'm not a reader or a visual learner. I'm I gotta do hands-on learning to really retain information. So I can look at maps all day, but it's not like I'm not going to soak in all the information. I have to get out there. I have to see it. I have to put it into practice. So, it would be nice to be able to do that, a few times each year.
I know,
but it's so hard. It's like you spend a week traveling just to get out west.
I was about to say, how far of a drive is that for you?
So we're actually headed to Colorado, Moab at the end of the week, and it's Moab from our house without any stops or anything is 24 hours.
Oh dang, girl.
Yeah.
We're not going to Moab this year. We trade off. So Colorado one year, Moab the next year. So this year's Colorado. We're going to run Holy Cross at the end of July.
Okay.
So that's when we're going.
Yeah, we're doing Holy Cross. So we leave this Thursday and we get into Colorado. We're going to do Ouray, the Ouray, Telluride area for a few days. And then we'll head to Moab for a few days. And then on the way back, we're going to stop in Holy Cross for like a day and a half and run some trails there.
So are you going to do some of the trails in Ouray, the Jeep badge trails, or are you going there with like a specific plan?
Yes, we have all our trails marked out of what we're doing. We've got a bunch of friends who are going with us, 5 other families that are going. And
that'll be fun.
Usually I'm the trip planner, but I haven't really had any time to like focus any energy on planning this trip. So I'm just going along for the ride.
Do you know what trails you're doing?
Yes, we are. Off the top of my head, I know that we're doing Ofura Pass. Okay. I'm gonna look at the list because
no, you're good. Overpass was one of our favorites. We did it the first year that we did it. We came through. We didn't come through the over side. We came through the other side, and my mind just blank where that's at. But when we got to the town of Ophir, there was like right as you're entering it, it's like it tells you to slow down because it's kids, and it's very an open community where there's kids out playing all the time.
Okay.
Well, they had like a lemonade stand, and they had the best chocolate chip cookies they were selling. These kids did, and it was just something. It's little things like that stick in your head from the experiences.
Yes, we love like the little like small town mom pop type places.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, for sure. Their post office is really small too. You'll have to look at their. Oh yeah, it's like. It looks like a little, like, I don't know, outhouse kind of thing. So tiny.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I'm trying to find our itinerary, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that without.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Don't mess up the feed, so you're fine. So do you prefer Colorado or do you prefer Moab? Or is this your first year to go? You've been before, haven't you?
I haven't been to Moab.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I've been to Colorado. We have family who lives in Colorado. I've only done wheeling out there like once 16 years ago. So this is all going to be new stuff.
I highly recommend Taylor Pass. If you have that, I don't know if that's on the agenda or not, but Taylor Pass, that was one of our favorites, and it was not expected to be a favorite. It was just so you drive up a stream. That's the trail, but it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in Moab? Like, do you know any of the ones that you're doing there?
Yes. The stuff that we're doing there. I'm sorry. I promise I'm super excited. But
okay, so are you doing Hell's Gate?
No, that's not on the list.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to do that one.
I'll have to do that one. I'll tell you if I can find it, I'll tell you what's on the list.
Well, there's so many, Jeep badged honors. Are you taking both Jeeps or just one?
We're taking one Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna take the red one?
Yep. Yeah, we have another Jeep. It needs a little bit of work. It's been parked for a little while, so yeah, it needs a little TLC before we can take that anywhere.
Gotcha. I see. Are these the two that you still have, the black one and the red one?
Well, no, actually, the black one is my friend's.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So my Jeep, I had a 2-door that was tan, and we sold that almost a year ago now.
Okay.
So we sold that because it was getting really high miles on it, and everybody that we run with is a really long wheelbase, and so I was getting to the point where I couldn't keep up with everybody. So we were either going to have to completely rebuild it and stretch it, or move on to something else. So we've got a YJ in the backyard that's LS swapped and on 609 axles. There you go. Yep, that's my 2-door.
I love the tan.
Yes, I love that color. I love that Jeep. It was so much fun, but it just wasn't realistic to stick with it for what we're doing.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is the new Jeep. So tell us about the build of this Jeep. Yeah. What all have you got going on there?
So this is an 07 JKU. We bought it, I think 7 or 8 years ago now, with a blown engine.
Oh, wow.
We knew we wanted to LS swap it, so it sat in the driveway for 3 years until we could afford to get all our parts together for the engine swap. We kind of bought them here and there. Bought an engine one year, and then the cooling system. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
She's a horrible barker.
Totally fine. I can still hear you. You're great.
Okay. So anyway, hold on 1 second.
Oh, you're good. I like your table there in the background.
It's never a dull moment at my house.
Your table looks like a Jeep grill underneath your TV.
Yes, that's our entertainment center. My husband made that.
That's awesome.
It is a Jeep grill. It's an old CJ.
That's so cool.
Yeah. My grandson loves to climb it.
Oh, gosh. I mean, that's what the kids are for, right? Just let them climb over everything.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, we LS swapped it. And then the axles couldn't handle the power from the engine, so it sat for a couple more years. Did like daily driving and stuff, but it didn't do a whole lot of wheeling. It was a good thing we had the 2-door because I would have gone crazy. But anyway, so a couple years later, we put Dana 60s underneath it and upgraded the steering and everything, Fusion 4x4 steering. And so now it's good to go. Now we play in it all the time.
What size tires are you running on it?
40-inch tires.
Oh, 40-inch tires. I would love 40s. I have no desire to ever go to 40s, but they're always there looking at you.
Yeah. They're heavy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I hope I never have to change one.
Tracy wants to know, are you driving the Jeeps or trailering for this trip?
We're actually going to trailer it. We've got a small semi truck that's got a camper on the back of it.
I think was that the one that was in the picture?
Yep.
That one right there?
Right there, yep.
Okay. So are you going to camp in the semi?
We are on the way out. Everybody we're with got Airbnbs for the, when we're not driving. So we're going to crash their Airbnbs with them.
That's so cool. That'll be a blast.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to be out there?
We leave Thursday and we come back July 4th. So 2 weeks.
Okay. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. You'll have to message me later and tell me all the places you're going to go.
I will. Yeah.
Where is this picture at?
Where is that? That looks like that's in St. Helens.
Oh, okay.
St. Helens, Michigan. There's a rock garden scramble area there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you prefer more rock crawling or do you prefer overlanding? Like camping?
I prefer rock.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the reason? What's the reasoning there?
What's that?
What's the reasoning there?
I just like how technical it is.
Yeah.
I like that it makes you think the whole time,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do too. I like a little bit of both. I like the strategy part of rock climbing, like knowing where you need to be to climb the things. And not only that, like it takes you out of your comfort zone for sure. The consequence level of a rock versus, overlanding is huge.
Yeah.
But I also like the aspect of camping, just going out there. I do like the base camp idea, like, being able to stay in one place and camp and then wheel from that one location. I don't like the traveling everywhere. That's just too much to set up, set down, all that.
Right. I like the camping too. With our business, our trips tend to be more overland style. We start in one area and kind of work our way, around certain areas or whatever. So,
gotcha.
That's fun too. They definitely both have their place.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anytime on the trail is a good day, right?
I think so. I think pretty much everybody that watches this would say this too. So
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of mud though.
No, I used to be. I had a 2-door as well whenever I first started. Just a 2-door Sport, and loved it and wheeled it all through the mud. But that was just a disaster to clean up. And you find out that the mud has all of these little sediment particles, rocks, crap, whatever, and that gets in your vehicle. And
yes, it does. And in your little tiny, cracks and crevices in your starter and your alternator, and then next thing you know, you're losing. Some parts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So where are some of the places that you have traveled that you would love to go back to? I know you said that things are quite a ways away from you there. I would like to go to Michigan. We're planning to go to Core, so I can't wait to see that.
You're coming to Core?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been before or no?
Nope. Matt has.
That's exciting.
I'm super pumped.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I want to go to a lighthouse. That's really, I just want to see a lighthouse.
There's plenty of them up here. Plenty to see. So, man, I'd love to go back to the UP. I haven't been to the UP in a couple of years. I'd like to go to Pennsylvania again. We spent like 5 days doing Roush Creek and AOAA, and it just wasn't long enough. You need 5 days at each. Is
it ever long enough?
No, it's not. It's not. I want to do West Virginia. I've never been to West Virginia. I'd always love to go back to Tennessee. Tennessee is just absolutely beautiful.
Did you struggle in Tennessee with finding like places to camp? Because I know they don't have a whole lot of public lands. You pretty much have to pay to camp first. I mean, you could Airbnb it, but is that what you guys did?
When we go to Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually, no, we stay at gas stations or like truck stops in our camper. When we go to Tennessee. We've done cabins with friends. When I do my women's weekends down there, we rent cabins and, all pile in like little sardines. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Pennsylvania, anywhere else that you'd like to go? Or some of your favorite places?
I'd like to go to Arkansas. I haven't wheeled in Arkansas. Yes. So I don't know.
You have a bed here.
What's that?
I said you have a bed here.
Oh, well, thank you. I was actually born in Arkansas, and my family
really?
in Arkansas. Yeah.
What part?
I was born in Crittenden Memorial.
Okay.
Which is Little Rock area, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I've got family in Cherry Valley. I can't remember where else they live. It's been a while. They were in Jonesboro for a little while.
So did you move straight to Michigan from Arkansas?
Yeah. So my dad got a job up here when I was 6 months old.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So my family relocated up here when I was little, but we used to go back every year for Christmas for sure. And then, sometimes we'd go back and visit in the summer, but, spent a lot of time, riding 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers in my uncle's farm fields.
I bet it's a little bit different from Michigan to here.
It is, but it's been so long since I've been there. I don't remember. I
can tell you right now that the weather is quite a bit different.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
Cindy Pope told me, from Northology, I messaged her to ask her about her new teardrop that she just got from TC. And I was asking what the weather was there. And she was like 60s, 70s. It's like in the 90s here with like real feel of 100 and stuff.
Okay, so she's in the part of Michigan where it's 60s and 70s. Right now it's 90s and 95 down here. I'm at the lower border. Yeah.
Okay, so she's higher than you.
Yeah, she is. Yes.
Gotcha.
And they say the UP has like one weekend of summer, and that's 4th of July, and that's it.
Dang.
So
that's crazy. Do you like to go wheeling up there in the UP?
I do. Yes, it's been a couple of years. It's beautiful up there.
Gotcha.
It's not technical or anything, but you know, it's beautiful. I've heard that a lot of the state land has been sold off to private land, so it's hard to make routes, connect the trails, so to say. So I haven't experienced that yet, but that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I hope we get to do some wheeling whenever we come up there for core. I think that's the plan anyways.
Are you guys going up through the lower part of Michigan then?
I could not tell you. I think so. Okay. I know we'll probably go to that one overlook that looks over the ocean where everybody, like Matt says, it's like a ritual or something that they do the night before core or something. Okay. I couldn't tell you where it's at, but it looks really pretty.
Okay.
It was in Jeremiah's videos. You know how he is. So.
Right. Okay. So if you take 75 all the way up, you'll run right past my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big way cool. Are you going to core?
No, we've got another event. We've got another event that we committed to for the weekend. So yeah, we have obligations.
No, I understand that for sure. Have you got any women's events coming up, or tell us about that, because I would be interested in going to a women's event.
I do. So my next women's event is in November.
Okay.
We're gonna hit up S'more.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's close to me.
Yeah, you should come. We're gonna
like 4 hours, I think.
We're gonna rent the cabins out for the weekend. It'll be, did I say November? It's actually the last weekend in October.
Okay.
Originally it was gonna be in November, but I couldn't find a weekend that they had all the cabins open. So it's gonna be the last weekend in October.
So the 28th, 29th, and 30th?
Yes. That Thursday, the 27th, 28th, 29th.
Okay. I don't have anything on my calendar for that weekend.
Oh, lady.
I maybe can come to that. Because, let's see. Because I know I have Rendezvous in the Ozarks is the weekend of the 15th. And then I'm going to go to Overlanding the Red with Cindy on the 22nd that weekend. So, yeah, we may see.
Yeah.
Where do you post this up at? Is it on your website, the Discover
4x4? Yeah, it'll be on our website and our Facebook. It's posted up there now. I don't have the ticket sales posted yet. I'm waiting to finalize some details before I get the tickets posted. But yeah.
That'd be way cool. I've not ran S'more. Matt has, but I've never been.
I've never ran S'more either.
Yeah. There's three badge water trails there.
Yes. I checked that out. We'll definitely do some the 2 milder ones, and maybe the more advanced group will do the one that's a little bit harder rated. I'm gonna go a couple days early so I can run some trails and figure out. Yeah, scope it out.
I know the trail that they did, that's the harder one, is pretty much you have to winch up this obstacle now. It's basically so far gone that it's basically buggies. That's what Matt said. And if it's raining, it's pretty much all hard.
Okay.
So hopefully it's not raining at the end of October. It should be beautiful.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's beautiful.
That's a perfect weekend.
I think so.
I love October.
I think it'll be fun. October is my favorite month of the year.
Me too.
Yeah.
It is. It's just, for me, it's like fall. I mean, I don't do the whole pumpkin spice thing, but I like fall stuff. I do like Halloween. I like Day of the Dead. So it's just fun.
Yeah, I'm not a huge pumpkin spice fan either. I do love pumpkin bread, but that's about it.
Same.
Yeah. So, but I love fall. I just love hoodies and sweatshirts and campfires and fall colored leaves and being outside. And
not having to camp whenever you're sweating your butt off.
Yeah. It's also my birthday month, so I like to celebrate my birthday too.
What day is your birthday in October?
It's the 16th.
Okay. Yeah. So we have 2 birthdays. 2 of our kids have birthdays in October too. So
Is your birthday in October?
No, 2 of our kids.
Oh, okay.
So one of Matt's daughters and then my daughter's birthday is in October. Mine's in December.
Okay.
So I celebrate the whole month of December.
The whole month.
The whole month.
That's a good way to go.
So are these all of the Jeeps that you've owned through the years?
No, those are the ones that I've claimed. We've actually owned probably well over 100 Jeeps.
What?
Yeah. This is actually an old picture. There's a few more on there that there's a green TJ that's not on there, and then my tan one, and now a red one. So yeah, they they just kind of find a way to our house. They're like little lost puppies. They just come, and then they we fix them, we sell them, we part them out. Whatever we can do to pay for our Jeep parts.
You're like a salvage yard where you just part them all out, and then you're like, we don't need this. Yeah.
People call my driveway a parking lot, and we have a small junkyard next to the garage with Jeep parts in them. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when the O'Reilly guys are like Googling your house to show it to the other O'Reilly guys online. I'm like, I went into O'Reilly's one time, and the one guy told me that. He's like, I just showed him on Google your house or whatever, and I didn't know whether to be creeped out about that or not. But yeah, I mean, everybody.
In today's world, you never know.
Right. Everybody knows where we live. We just say it's the house with all the Jeeps, and then they know.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to get your address and Google your address whenever after this is over. That's so funny. So you said you've been overlanding or off-roading for so many years, like 16 to 20 years. What got you started in this? Like, have you always loved outdoors and Jeeps? I mean, apparently, if you've owned that many.
Yeah, I've always loved the outdoors. I was the kid who would leave, first thing in the morning and then come back home, when the lights came on. So we were always outside playing, riding bikes, building forts in the woods and whatever we could do. And my family, every year we would take a camping trip, just as a family or whatever, go spend a week along Michigan Lake somewhere.
Okay.
So, so it just about 17 years ago, I had a girlfriend that I just met invite me to go on a trip with her and her brother to Badlands in Indiana, in Attica, Indiana. Yeah. It was the closest park to us at the time. Anyway, they were doing a camping and a wheeling trip, and she invited me along.
That's awesome.
It was the first time I'd been away from my husband and kids since I'd been married. So
they didn't go with you?
Exciting. What's that?
They didn't go with you?
No.
Okay.
It was just me. So we wheeled her Jeep all weekend long from, sun up to sundown. And I came home and walked in the door and kissed my husband and said, you need to buy me a Jeep. And we've been Jeep poor ever since.
Now he has a Jeep too, though, right? Or what does he do?
Well, the red one is technically his.
Oh, I see.
Well, I mean, technically the title's in my name.
But yeah.
We have the YJ, the YJ in the backyard that needs a little TLC. So
okay.
Yeah.
So are the Jeeps your daily drivers, or do you also? Because it'd be hard driving 40s. I mean, you may work from home. I don't know. So.
I do kind of work from home right now. But sometimes I drive the Jeep. It was my daily until about 6 months ago. We got a Toyota, a first gen Sequoia. And we've started using that for a lot of our overlanding trips, and it's fantastic because we can both fit in the back with like plenty of room, so we don't have to set up any tents or anything. And so that's kind of become my daily.
Okay.
It's on 34s.
Yeah.
So it's pretty lifted for a Sequoia. Our Jeep is 7 foot tall, and our Sequoia is just the same.
Oh wow, that's so cool. Yeah. So what do you like? Because normally you don't hear people own a Jeep and a Toyota. Like I know several people that do. I would, because I like the old Toyotas. I like the old Land Cruisers and stuff. Oh yeah, they're way cool. Anything vintage like that. If I had the means to get a hold of it, even like an old Bronco, I totally would.
I would love an early Bronco.
Oh man,
I just can't afford one.
No, and if you can afford it, it's like total crap, and it's going to cost you a whole bunch to fix it.
We had one in our driveway for a while that was in okay shape. It needed to be restored, but it was still in good enough shape that you could restore it. And the township didn't like it. They harassed us about it for quite some time.
For real?
Yeah. So we had to sell it and get rid of it.
Gotcha. So which do you like better, the Jeep or the Toyota?
They both have their own purpose. So, I like the Toyota for daily driving. It's comfortable.
Does it get better gas mileage?
Not really. They both get about the same. They both get about 12 miles to the gallon. Yeah. So, yeah. So the Toyota I drive for daily. It's got a back seat still. Our Jeep doesn't have a back seat anymore. The Toyota has a back seat, so I can, have other people in the vehicle if I need to.
Yeah. Did you do a goose gear, like a platform system in the Jeep, or did you just take the back seat out?
We took the back seat out, and we're working on configuring some things for the back. We like to keep our spare tire in the vehicle, and it takes up quite a bit of room. Like the 40-inch tire is literally as wide as the interior of the Jeep. Yeah. So
that's a lot of room.
Yes. So my husband's actually out in the garage right now fabricating a bracket to hold it. He's gonna put it on like a 30-degree angle so it sits up a little bit and doesn't take up so much ground space, so we can get some more tubbies underneath it. So,
gotcha. Wow.
I'll have to send you pictures when it's done.
Yeah. So do you not like to have it on the back just because of the weight or the size and catching things?
Both. Yeah. Okay. The weight and the size. There's not really many tire carriers that can hold a 40. Yeah, but you really don't want that much weight on the back of your vehicle, especially quite a few of the obstacles that we do. You're getting it at steep inclines, and that's just gonna pull you over if you go bouncing too much. So
yeah, 40s are definitely pretty thick. Troy asked, can you tell us what LS you went with?
Yeah, so we have a 6.2 out of the 2014 Yukon Denali.
Oh, wow. So did you just find that in the front yard?
Find it in the front yard? Like it disappeared one day? My husband found it on Craigslist back when people bought things off of Craigslist. It was listed in Detroit, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from us. And it had I think it was a wrecked vehicle. It still had the transmission and everything for it, and it was a great deal. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So he ran up and got it. Yeah, Troy, it runs really good.
That's awesome. So at Moore, you were selling the bullet mounting systems. Is it bullet point or bulletproof? Okay,
yeah. Bullet point mounting system. Yep.
Gotcha. So do you sell those on the reg? Is that what you do? Like, is that another side thing or?
Yeah. So this year we were just trying to find ways that we could supplement our income if we decided to do Discover 4x4 Adventures full time. And our friend is part owner in the Bullet Point phone mounting systems. And we absolutely love their product. And we told him, hey, you need to take this to shows. It would be a good hit with shows. And he says, I have no interest in doing shows. So we're like, oh, well, hey,
we can do that for you.
Yeah, let us try this out and see how that goes. And so he was totally game for it. And it works out really well for us.
How did it go at Moore?
Really, really well. I think we, profit-wise or sales-wise, we did just as much at Moore as we did at Smoky Mountain.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
You're talking about Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, right?
Yeah. Which is like the, which is like
the huge thing.
Yeah, it's a huge show, but people go there because they're looking to buy things. Like that's the whole purpose of going to Smoky Mountain is to go and to spend your money. So people are going down there to shop. Yeah,
I need to put that on the list. I'd love to go see it. We actually have a friend with Milestar Tires that's where he's going to be, and he's told us we should come there.
We'll be there this year. If you go, you should stop by.
We will. I love the bullet point systems. Me and Matt both have them in our Jeep, and we really love them. They're very solid.
Yeah.
John Campbell said Bleeping Colt, I guess that's a YouTuber, just did a video about slide out spare tire mounts.
I'll have to look for it. Thanks for the heads up.
That's interesting. How would it slide? Would it just slide out of the back on like kind of like a fridge slide?
Like on a tray, maybe. So I think what he's fabricating is he's doing like a plate that uses the stock seats, the rear seat bolts. So he's gonna mount the plate to the bolts, and then it's gonna have like a bridge that goes up that has lugs on it, so you can mount the tire on it. So
okay.
Yeah, and it'll be semi-permanent because we'll be able to bolt it down, but we'll be able to pull it out when we don't want it in there.
So have you ever had to change your 40 tire?
No, and I hope not. I've had to do my 37, but I hope I don't have to do a 40.
That would be horrible. Yeah. I don't think I could do that. I'd have to call AAA.
Well, the idea, if you change to 40, the idea is to not have to lift it off the ground.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna kind of roll it up and hopefully flab it on,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
John said that's actually on a fridge slide, and it can handle 250 pounds.
Okay. See, I'm gonna go looking for that video now. Thanks,
That's
John.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I guess the Bleeping Colt guy is kind of a DIY guy. I'll have to look.
Yes. Yeah. I like the Bleeping Jeep crew. We watch them quite a bit.
Okay, so it's Bleeping Jeeps.
Yeah.
And that guy is on Bleeping Jeeps, Colt or whatever.
Yeah, he's one of the Bleeping Jeep guys.
Okay, we've heard of Bleeping Jeeps because whenever we went and did Pritchett, they're one of the videos that we watched.
Okay.
Because they had done Pritchett.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was not a good video to watch because they have these Jeeps that they just tow on trailers and they trash them if they want to because they're just, that's what they do. It's stressed me out.
There are kind of people.
See, they're not my kind of people because if I don't trail it, we drive our stuff to Moab.
Yeah. And I drive my stuff when I do women's events. I drive. Yeah, I can't. So I can't drive our semi. It's a stick shift.
I couldn't drive it either.
Yeah, I can drive a stick shift normally. I can't drive a 10-speed. It's a older vehicle, so the clutching is different than a traditional transmission and clutch.
Yeah.
And I also can't reach the pedals. So.
Well, my mom had a manual, whenever we grew up, my mom and dad did. And I remember them leaving it at the house and taking one of the others. And they're like, if you ever need to go anywhere, you can just take my truck, kind of joking, because it's a manual. Well, one afternoon I wanted to go see one of my friends. And so I just ground it till I found it. And I made it to my friend's house. And I remember my parents calling, like, really worried. Like, where did you go?
Right.
Like, you told me to take the truck. I took the truck. It may not have an engine anymore, but it's gone.
Were they buying a new clutch for it?
No. I don't think so anyways.
Well, that's good.
I had just gotten used to hearing the sound of whenever the engine would need to be shifted. Yeah. But I would just do it by sound.
Yeah, that's good.
That's all I knew at that point.
Yeah.
When you're 14.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome. So what other plans do you have besides the women's event in October? Or, the end of October. Do you have anything else going on?
Yeah. So we have a couple of 101 and advanced classes coming up this summer. Okay. And then we have, we are heavily involved in Toledo Jeep Fest.
Oh, okay.
So we have that coming up in August. And then we have Detroit 4 Fest in September.
Detroit what?
Detroit 4 Fest. That's the same weekend as Core. That's why we can't go to Core. So we'll be at Detroit 4 Fest. But our business events, we have a tri-adventure Labor Day weekend, which is canoeing, camping, and off-roading in the Grayling, Michigan area.
That would be fun.
Yeah. And then in October, we have a Shore to Shore event, which is starting at sunrise on the east coast of Michigan, and we finish on the west coast, but we camp along the way. Or we hotel, depends on which. So we've got 2 weekends in October that we do that, and then we have the women's trip in October.
Gotcha. Man, you've got a packed fall.
We do. Yeah, so from March to November, we had 3 weekends that we were in town.
Dang.
So,
wow.
It's been a busy year, but it's been really good for us. Just working on, building the business and getting our name out there.
How did the business start? Like what? I know you've liked off-roading a long time,
Yeah.
But were you just I want it back to the community kind of thing?
So a couple of years ago, we were coming home from the UP and we kind of brainstormed this business. It was about 3 years ago. Michigan has a lot to offer as far as, outdoor rec. And we couldn't really find anything that tied that all together. And so we're like, we should do that. And then, we kind of shrugged it off or whatever. And then my kids got to the point where they didn't really want me and, or need me anymore. I shouldn't say about me, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Teenagers, older.
They just need money. Yeah. So anyway, so I was like, well, maybe I'll start, maybe I'll find a job in the off-road industry, since that's really about the only thing I know anything about. And I couldn't really find anything in our area that was hiring somebody full-time, even part-time. There's not really a whole lot of businesses in our area for the off-road community. So about a year ago, just over a year ago, I was like, screw it. I'm going to start my business.
Build it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Make my own job.
That's so cool. And so that's something that both you and your husband do together, right?
Yes. Yep.
I love this picture of y'all. It's so cute.
Thank you. Yep.
Now, does he like doing the off-roading thing?
Yeah, he loves it.
Okay. Has he always done it too?
So he did quads and stuff growing up, just like I did. And then when we started having kids, not everybody fits on a quad anymore. So
yeah.
So the Jeep transition was a nice transition.
That's way cool. Well, yeah. I can't wait to be able to look at your events and possibly put some on my calendar. So you can go to your website, which is scrolling at the bottom, but it's discover4x4adventures.com, and you can sign up there, right?
Yep, absolutely. All of our event tickets are found in the shop tab, under the shop tab.
Okay. I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm all about doing things on my own now that my Jeep has like a tent and awning. Especially this past weekend, I went to a women's event and it was just me, and I actually took Goose, my new dog, and it was just really encouraging to be able to do those things. And it was put on by Lady Overlander Radio. I love those ladies very much.
I was creeping on your pictures.
Yeah.
I wish I could go. I see all the women's events and I just want to go to all of them. But,
it's just so cool to just hang out and talk and chill. And we had pizza one night. We were planning to do a taco bar, but it just was really, really hot. But we all pitched in for breakfasts. It was just really, really fun. And at the end of the day, we set up our own camps, and actually the guy that was over, it's Gypsy Camp and Canoe in Siloam Springs where we went. He came down there with his wife, and he was just like, y'all look so cool down here. And his wife was like, and it's a bunch of women.
Yeah.
Because there's all these Jeeps and Toyotas with their awnings and tents all out. And
yeah. That's awesome. I think those events are important because it teaches us to step out of our comfort zone and builds our confidence.
Oh yeah, for sure. If I ever go out with like Matt, now I have a little bit of more confidence of I could set up the stove and possibly cook out there, which I mean, I cook sometimes at home. Normally Matt's the cook for everything because he's just a better cook than I am. But I can cook some things well, but I've never really known how to set up the propane tank, and that's always been the grill kind of thing. And so it was always just kind of apprehensive to me. I didn't want to blow up my back of my Jeep or something.
Well, so here you are. You made it. You did great.
Jeeps were blown up. And my dog is still alive. Yep. So there's 2 bonuses.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast. Well, Keri, I've had so much fun chatting with you tonight. I know the time frame threw us off at the beginning, but I think we just came right back.
Yeah. I appreciate your patience. Sorry, it was a little hectic in the beginning there with everybody. Usually I run through the house and I make the announcement. All right, everybody, be quiet. Nobody talk or you're going to die.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have time to make that announcement because I literally ran in the door.
Plop down, throw on your headphones.
Yes. my headphones, which didn't work. I don't know. This is a new computer, so I couldn't.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Troy wants to ask one final question. Has fuel costs affected your planning or plans?
Not yet. We're kind of playing a blind eye to it. So we planned this Colorado Moab trip 2 years ago with friends, and had to cancel it because of COVID, and at that point we had been like dying to go for years anyway. And then we couldn't do it last year because my daughter got married last fall. Okay. So this year we're going no matter what. So we're just playing, turning a blind eye to the fuel costs right now.
I think honestly, the fuel costs are outrageous. We are taking both vehicles when we go to Colorado, so it's going to be really outrageous. And like I said, we're driving, so it's going to be a lot. But at the same time, that's part of our life, right? And so you want to enjoy that. And I think if you become oppressed by the gas, which financially some people can be, and trust me, sometimes we are. But at the same time, if you live your life around that, I mean, what joy is that? So
yeah, I mean, I'd probably give up food before I gave up wheeling. I'll eat ramen before I give up wheeling.
For sure.
Right.
I mean, there's always trade-offs. You can give up something, sell some things. Right. You can probably auction off, a vehicle in your front yard.
Don't be talking like that. We do got a samurai in the backyard I'm willing to part with.
Oh, there you go. I bet you can post that on Craigslist.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a safe place anymore, though.
I don't know. Is Craigslist even a thing anymore?
I think it's Facebook Marketplace now.
Yeah, that's where I always look, as Marketplace.
Yeah, Facebook runs the world. But anyways, I'll let you go, girl. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to send me the list of the places that you're going.
Okay, sounds good.
And your address.
Have a good night.
Because I also want to look in your yard.
And my address. Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later, Keri.
Talk to you later. Have a good night.
Bye. You too.
Bye.